Arsenal, for the very first time this season, have gone ahead to concede 2 goals. Arsenal have been conceding a minimum. Sorry, they've been conceding 1 goal on average for those games. They've gone ahead to concede, and those goals and those games are really memorable. First game against Liverpool. I think that's when they conceded their first goal, and they beat them by 1-0. Second game was against Man City. It ended 1-1. And third game was against Newcastle, where that game of football went ahead to end in favor of Arsenal, as Newcastle scored against them first. Now, as we come into this particular game, Arsenal had only conceded 3 goals. And guess what? It's Sunderland that has seen themselves take it to more than 3. And now Arsenal is going to concede 5 goals. It hasn't been an easy game. Obviously, if you've been following up on Sunderland, they haven't gone ahead, obviously, lose a game at the, what's their stadium called? Their Light something, Stadium of Light. So at the Stadium of Light, they hadn't obviously gone ahead to lose out on any fixture in there. And they really put in a very huge shift to obviously fight for that. And after fighting for that, they really put in a very huge shift as Arsenal faced off their OB, who goes by the names of Grand Tijaka. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. And let's get deep into this and see how things went down at the Stadium of Light. Arsenal coming to this game of football knowing what is at stake. That their win could obviously see them skyrocket 10 points off Liverpool, and I think 8 of a side known as Manchester City. But it has not been the case, because they failed to obviously protect the lead they got in the 74th minute through Leandro Trossard. And how did this game start off? In the 36th minute, Arsenal conceded a goal, and the first half ended 1-0. Saka returned in the 54th minute. He went ahead to obviously level up the game. Declan Rice has to be given his flowers for what went ahead to do onto that particular activity, as he put in a very good tackle, won that ball, gave it to Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino went ahead to obviously pass that ball to a player known as Bukayo Saka, and Bukayo Saka never did any mistake. He used his right foot and hit that ball into the back of the net to make it 1-1 for the side of Arsenal. Then Leandro Trossard in the 74th minute, obviously what a goal for the all from the Belgian. Trossard dropped the shoulder and went ahead to obviously go in Festana into the back of the net. Some people have called it a thunderbolt, and it went into the back of the net. And I tell you what, this goal of Trossard really deserved to win this game. I tell you, this game of Trossard deserved to win this game. But I tell you what, it didn't, because Brian Brobby in the 90th plus 4th minute went ahead to obviously score that acrobatic goal that obviously gave Sunderland to share points with the club of Arsenal. But I tell you what, if they say this game ended in a draw, I think everyone will go back home contented. I tell you this. However much I had predicted that Arsenal will win, if Sunderland went away with a no points, I would have come here and really told you that indeed they deserved to bag 1 point into their bags, as they really left this stadium. Because if there is a team that really put in a very huge shift, it was Sunderland. That is it. Sunderland put in a very, very huge shift. And I tell you what, they really did the needful, and that needful was really one of those that we have gone ahead to obviously see for some particular time in here for us. So for the side of Sunderland, had luck, and Arsenal had luck. Points have been dropped, but I think both teams went ahead obviously to do the needful. David Raya, in the second half especially, kept so much Arsenal in the game. On close to 3 occasions, he went ahead to obviously put in a very huge shift, and he made what we call worldies, worldies for David Raya, and he really put in a very, very huge shift. And it shows you that the defense of Arsenal really looked shaky. I don't know what exactly happened to that defense of Arsenal, because they never looked like they could really, they never looked like they can stop Sunderland. Every time Sunderland attacked Arsenal, Arsenal looked like they're really very porous. I don't know exactly what really happened, Is it because they really have Grant Xhaka that Xhaka knows exactly what Arteta thinks? And he was like, all right, Arteta's game plan is like ABCD, And I think Grant Xhaka was the main man behind the trading sessions that led to this fixture, because Arsenal really found it hard, especially in the first half. Things couldn't obviously add up. In the second half, they adjusted and saw to it that they could at least get into the area of the opponent, outnumber them, and obviously cook out something. But in the first half, Arsenal couldn't do nothing, in that entire game of football. So that shows you how Sunderland came in through and obviously put in a very huge shift to really put that team to where it's supposed to be. So Arsenal put in a very huge shift, and I tell you what, they really deserved to obviously get exactly what they really got as a club of Arsenal, and I think no one really feels betrayed in there for you. But the club of Arsenal really did what they had to do, and I really loved what I really saw from that particular game of football in there. So Arsenal went ahead and obviously put in a very huge shift. They fought back, but they failed to defend in there. And secondly, you have to really also look at almost 80 or 90% of the players of Arsenal that are really injured are forwards. I'll count Gabriel Jesus. He's back, but he has not been part of the squad, meaning they're really missing him. Noni Madueke, Martinelli, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard. They are having close to 6 players out injured, but 5 of those are really forwards, and that really made it hard for Mikel Arteta to really turn around this game, as he couldn't bring in a Max Dorman, Onios, or an Ethan Nwaneri. He couldn't. Though for me, in a game like this, I could drop in Ethan Nwaneri because I know he's really talented and he has all what it takes to really put in a very huge shift in there altogether as a player. And I think the manager decided early to bring on Mosquera in there. And to me, if it was the manager, I would have gone ahead to tell a player known as Mikel Merino to now play deep in the midfield and play a system of 4-5. You understand? Such that when Arsenal, not 4-5, it is a 4-6. 4 defenders and 6 midfielders. And they could thrive on the pace of Bukayo Saka and the technical abilities of Leandro Trossard. That's what I really thought. You understand? So, I really tell you that the club of Arsenal has gone ahead to draw points. And it is one of those games that Arsenal fans will sit down there and really understand that the squad really is really doing them. But that's why I told you that God loves Arsenal. Why does God love Arsenal? 1, look, after the international break, Arsenal might well come back 3 forwards in Noni Madueke, Gabriel Jesus, and Martin Odegaard. If those 3 really come back for the club of Arsenal, I tell you what, it will obviously improve their side a little bit better as far as the bench is really, because at least you'll be having options off the bench that can come in through and really scare these people. You understand? Now, let's get to the stats. Sunderland 8 shots, Arsenal had 16. 4 shots on target by Sunderland, 6 shots on target by Arsenal. 33% ball possession by Sunderland, 67% ball possession by Arsenal. 244 passes completed by Sunderland. Arsenal completed 488 passes. 86% passing accuracy by Sunderland. 91% passing accuracy by Arsenal. 13 fouls to both sides. 2 yellow cards to Sunderland and 1 yellow card to the side of Arsenal. 0 red cards to both sides. 2 offsides to Sunderland and 0 offsides to Arsenal. 2 corners to Sunderland and 2 corners to the side of Arsenal in there for you. So that is how the game of football really went down at the Stadium of Light, and Arsenal went ahead to obviously drop some points in there for you. And for the very first time this season, Arsenal has gone ahead to concede those number of goals. They've been conceding 1 goal, but Sunderland has gone ahead to obviously see them concede 2. And it is really very, very, very hard. But you didn't expect Arsenal to obviously have that smooth ride throughout. The bumpy ride was anticipative, and I don't think that many are really shocked for this, because at a certain point X, these records had to obviously come to an end, because Arsenal came into this game of football when they had only conceded 1 goal. Sorry, they had gone 8 games without conceding a goal, and they had kept 8 clean sheets. So that means that a record has been set in here, and it's Arsenal record being broke down at 8 goals, at 8 games in there for you. Now, we get into the table, and this is how the table is really looking. The table is looking like this. 11 games played, and Arsenal is having 26 points. First position. Man City, second. 10 games played, they're having 19 points. Meaning that if they win against Liverpool tomorrow, they'll go to 22 points, being 4 points behind Arsenal. Sunderland is 11th, they're having 19 points. Spurs is 4th with 18. Liverpool is 5th with 18. If they win tomorrow, they go to 21 points, And Bournemouth, 10 games, they are 6th, they're having 18 points. Man United drew with Spurs today, and they're having 18. Chelsea is playing Wolverhampton Wanderers now. They're 8th, 17 points. Crystal Palace, 9th, 10 games played, they're having 16 points. Brighton, 10 games. Sorry, they're 10th, 11 games played. 10. They're 10th, they've played 10 games, and they're having 15 points in there for you. That is all about the table. And Arsenal gets into the international break, obviously still at the top of the table. Still at the top of the table is the club of Arsenal, and no team can obviously get them there. But we wait and see what will happen after the international break for the club of Arsenal, as a lot is put on the cards. Thank you guys for watching through. 2-2 draw for the club of Arsenal. United drew 2-2 with Sunderland. With Tottenham Hotspur. Looks like a day of draws for the big teams. We will wait and see how Chelsea will unfold in this particular fixture as they take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. 12 minutes played so far. It is 0-0, and Chelsea have named the following lineup in this fixture. Chelsea have gone in for Sanchez in goal, Gusto right back, Cucurella left back, Fofana and Chalobah in the central defense, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo in the double pivot, Pedro Neto right attacking midfielder, Garnacho left attacking midfielder, Pedro Porro central attacking midfielder, and Liam Delap is leading the line for the side of Chelsea. We wait and see how Chelsea will overcome this Wolverhampton Wanderers team.